Blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, thus, as your brother Dan Moses, or say, Yavsakodie of TRC, Ghana, coming to you with the continuation of our exposés, testimony, new world, disorder. But before we begin, we want to welcome each other by saying, Akwaba, Allen, Sahalen, Shagitam, welcome, Inganjoni, Benvindo, you are welcome, Kuso, Diwo, to San Senor, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Boye, Malamo, Karibu, Ekabo, no, O, San de Zua, Enquangena, Mitas, Duburo, Ezalovat, Bine Ivinit, Barigalos, Vita Iche, Ayubon, Dobridoya, Velkomen, Estan, Hozut, Walam, Aduman, bienvenido, Namaste, Swagitam, Kus, Amadid, Baruch, Haba, Marhaba, Wanyong Haminida, Wanying, Nyejeko, Anyamime, Nyejeko, Wezolo, Novio, Mia Wezo, Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World, Disorder. Testimony, New World, Disorder, as we know, is the program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world in these times of global deception, delusion, and willful lies that are made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world, and yet have chosen to be the very people that have, for the past 17 years, in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent, almost 2 decades, having brought humanity and the nations of the world into this total global helplessness. But we want to be armed in the mind and get it well understood that the center for the global evil agenda being pursued is Ghana, the government of Nana Addo Akufo Addo, and his cronies in America who have made the seat, America their seat, together with the Biden administration. These are behind the global evils. So no matter what the Ghanaian people are going through, if they want to talk, if the government wants to talk the nonsense that it's global, they are addressing global problem. Joe want to tell us that they are, it is total nonsense. They are behind, those that are behind the problem that they have caused. It is the government of Nana Addo, Joe Biden, and political diplomatic stakes who for almost two decades worshipped this extremely dangerous US undercover agent and created this problem. So it is Joe Biden's own mess, Akufo Addo's own evils that he pursued with this undercover agent before he was put on the throne of Ghana. That is what is catching up with him. You know, the rooster always comes back home to the roost. Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. But we are most grateful to God that by this same program, we get to receive some divine guide, divine direction, divine insight that we may know what to do in the face of these global unthinkable happenings and wickedness against the human race. Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. Blessed ones of the nations of the world, this expose is being recorded on the 7th of June 2023, Wednesday night. The exposés for this week were to come to us on this 7th of June 2023. However, the operators of this secret terror cell, those that love money at the expense of the blood of the precious people of Ghana, and their willful crime covering counterparts that operate in the neighborhood, in fear of the handiworks of Yahweh, in fear of our God, the moment we started preparing for the exposés to be recorded, they quickly cyber attacked the recording device, the laptop, and shut down our Wi-Fi access to prevent that from being post from posting them after the recording, and they attacked my cell phone. So it was total sabotage against us. But Yahweh, whose innocent child his enemies killed, prevailed over them by giving me the direction to send an expose through my cell phone using my data. The Wi-Fi at the home was what they sabotaged, so I couldn't use the Wi-Fi at the home to record, which I paid for, to post the exposés and to send messages through my phone to Ghana. So I had to use my limited data on my cell phone instead of the Wi-Fi to transmit it to Ghana this night. And the moment the message was transmitted, within a matter of seconds, they, knowing their shame, quickly restored our access to the internet. So humanity, all things work together for good. Our God is God, not because of anything which men fear about him. He's God because he's God. So we shall receive these exposés not on the 7th, but we shall receive, especially the part 2, which is this is going to be part 236. Part 237, which is what to do, shall be recorded on the 8th of June. This is being recorded on the 7th, and then this 7th, this part 236 shall be posted on the same 7th. We trust that by midnight to after midnight or something to finish. So we shall have access to both of them, God willing, on the 8th of June. All things work together for good humanity. So I go back to the program. Testimony, new world disorder, blessed ones of the nations of the world. So we have seen the exposés from expose part 1, and we have continued to urge us to watch them chronologically to expose 235, which is what to do for the previous expose, and this is 236 and 237 and beyond. If we are following the exposés, then what we have gathered and need to understand that what is happening to humanity and the nations of the Ghana, America, be it the COVID and the global lockdown and this Russia-Ukraine situation, operation that is going on now, the state of the world, they are not accidental. They were carefully planned, premeditated acts by fellow human beings, you understand, and they are unleashing it. Hear me, I'm saying that the COVID-19, it was an engineered work by fellow human beings. And it is those same fellow human beings wanting to take us for fools that we don't think that they are the same people that were telling us that the virus was created in the lab, and were pointing false accusing finger at China, that it originated from a lab in China, which China they were talking about was a human being. Get it clear? You understand? So for the fact that they were able to play on our mind to let us think that it was created by fellow human beings is what it is. We must know that fellow human beings conceived this evil. They thought about it, that they would do it to the human race, and they did it in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent. So let's get that straight. Aquaba to the program. Testimony, you world is all that the COVID was used for, the global lockdown was used for, the Russia-Ukraine situation is being used for, and what they shall do again to divert the attention from the original problem they have created is their diversionary tactics from the original agenda being pursued against humanity and the nations of the world, which is an agenda to seek to take over your soul, my soul, the souls of us all, the entire human race. It is an agenda that is being pursued, hate crime agenda, against the entire, not against any particular people, against the entire, what Muslim, Christian, Jews, Rastafarian, all of the human race. We are all at Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, all of the American continent, Australia, all of us. Now, in worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent, the pursuers of the global evil believe that when the book of Revelation talks about the pale horse and the black horse, it is in reference to the African people. And therefore, because of the hunger, starvation, and the challenges of Africa, and therefore, the African people, they are the Antichrist that the Bible talks about. The Bible talks about that there are many Antichrists. So the many Antichrists, in their madness, the many Antichrists are the Africans. And the Antichrist himself is the one that I've told us that shall emerge out of these global bodies. Let's watch closely the White House. I've told us. Let's watch closely. Joe, let's watch closely Ban Ki-moon in South Korea, the racist politician, disappointed diplomat. Let's watch Nana Addo. Let's watch closely Mahmoud Bawumia. And let's watch the treacherous, very treacherous women too. You understand? I told the Bible is a spiritual book. Let's go on. So, and therefore, by the pursuit of that hate agenda, that Africans are the seed of the Antichrist, and because when the Bible talks about the pale horse and the black horse, it is not no people but the Africans, and the many Antichrists. So they are the many Africans. You understand? And then the Antichrist himself shall be there is the Antichrist himself who shall govern over the global system of the end time. Okay. Now, in pursuit of this total religious, lunatic, and fanatic nonsense agenda is what these political, diplomatic, and their religious clique have pursued to the loss of the life of His Excellency Dr. Busumuru Kofi Annan, the UN Secretary General, on the 18th of August 2018. Okay. And in order for them to, these same forces that are behind the loss of Kofi Annan's life, the government of Nana Addo, Akufo, Joe Biden, and the Ban Ki-moon, the Barack Obama, the Hillary Clinton. Okay, now let's go on. In order for them to divert attention from the loss of Kofi Annan's life through the evil of they covering up the killing of the Ghanaian people with the Akufo Addo government between the period of 2017 and 2019, which blew up and eventually cost Kofi Annan's life. They knew that by the expose that I was making, the attention of the world was getting to it, and they started killing my family members. So in order for them to, out of desperation, for them to divert our attention, that is what they unleashed the COVID-19 and the global lockdown agenda. You understand? Let's get a deeper dimension of what is happening to us about this hate crime agenda being pursued against the African people, the Ghanaian people, and the human race. Ghana, you know that you had a president whom you loved so much because of his heart for the people of Ghana. He was a father to the entire people of Ghana, and his heart for the peace and the good of the people of Ghana was exceptional. The world didn't know about this, but Ghana knows, and the United Nations knows, America knows, the White House knows. This president was by name His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. Because of His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills' heart for Ghana, his heart for the peace of Ghana, the unity, the oneness, the well-being of the nation, the peaceful coexistence of our people, the Ghanaian people gave him a name, which name was Asomdwe Hene. Asomdwe Hene. America, Humanity and the Nations of the Asomdwe in the Ghanaian language is peace, and Hene is, let's say, a president, leader, a ruler, or king. But it best fits a king. So, being that President John Evans Fifi Atta Mills was the father to all people of Ghana, the Ghanaian people, considering his heart for the peace and the good of the people of Ghana, gave him the name Asomdwe Hene, meaning that president whose heart is for the peace of Ghana, for the oneness, the unity, the good of Ghana, meaning that leader who has that kind of perfect heart for Ghana and the Ghanaian people, meaning that king who had that kind of peaceful heart towards Ghana. Humanity and the nations of the world, America, Ghana, let's get to the spiritual, the deeper dimension to the loss of the precious life of His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. Ghana, hear this. It was the pursuit agenda of the hate crime that the African people are the antichrist, and we ought to be killed, and every existing evidence to our killing must be wiped out. It was in pursuit of that extremely dangerous agenda by the US undercover agent and his cronies, the Akufo, the Ban Ki-moons, the Barack Obama, the Hillary Clintons, the Joe Bidens. It was the pursuit of that agenda that called for the elimination, the taking out, the cutting short of the life of His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. So Ghana, get that clear. Ghana, we must know that a king and a prince, they are not the same people. A prince and a president, or let's say a leader of a people and a prince, they are not the same people. They are not the same. However, in pursuit of this extremely religious nonsense of hatred agenda against the African people, by which they are destroying the African people, they believe that if the Ghanaian people are calling His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills the Asomdwe Hene, meaning the president that is for peace, the leader that is for peace, the king that is for peace. Then, if President Mills is the king of peace, then President Mills is, and the Ghanaian people, they are robbing the title of Christ for President John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. Did we hear that? In the book of Isaiah 9, verse 6 downwards, we shall see Christ Jesus, his title, one of his titles being the Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace, not the King of Peace or the President of Peace or the leader of peace. Prince of Peace. But these religious fanatics, diplomatic treacherous, politically wicked that have taken their seats in America and are troubling America and the nations of the world, in worship of this extremely dangerous US and the company, they must invert the scriptures and claim that, oh, the Ghanaian people are making President John Evans Fifi Atta Mills Christ, and therefore John Evans Fifi Atta Mills is the Antichrist. He's not the many Antichrists they refer to the African. Therefore, the Antichrist, which is the final and the man that would govern over the global system, is John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. If that is the case, then the Bible says that the Antichrist shall be cast down without hand. And they interpret it to be that the Antichrist shall be destroyed, shall be eliminated without any existing evidence. Therefore, the Ghanaian people are trying to rob the title of Christ Jesus, the Lord, for His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. And therefore, since John Evans Fifi Atta Mills is robbing Christ of his title, when he that robbed Christ of his title, you are the Antichrist. You understand? So John Evans Fifi Atta Mills should not exist. He should not live. They must cut him down, eliminate him without any trace of evidence existing as to how his life was cut short. Ghana, this is why up to this very day we don't understand the kind of death that His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atta Mills died. It has been the work of the state and the global forces that the Ghanaians should never come to know the truth in regarding the loss of the life of John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. That it was by the pursuit of religious extremist nonsense and hate crime in worship of this undercover agent that they had to kill him. Did you hear that? I tell us that John Evans Fifi Atta Mills, the global forces, the undercover agent and his cronies, they made up their mind that they will not let him live. They will eliminate him from life. However, they would succeed to eliminate him from life by rendering his government ungovernable, troubling him and taking him out of life. Is how they did it. Nobody in Ghana will tell me that John Evans Fifi Atta Mills died a natural death. He died as a sacrificial lamb at the hands of wicked global forces who pursued religious hatred agenda and took him out. Ghana, the same way that His Excellency John F. Kennedy, his assassination, the American people are not being told the truth, and they shall never be told the truth because it's being covered by the state. It's the same way that Ghana is being played. You understand? Okay, let's get it clear. Akufo to the program Testimony New World Disorder. It is the pursuit of that agenda that has continued after the loss of the life of President John Evans Fifi Atta Mills to the killing of innocent Ghanaians, politicians, diplomats, religious leaders, young and old. And unfortunately, my politicians of Ghana have politicized the killing of our people to the extent that when they kill from this, when the coward secret killers kill from this political party, the next thing is they expect from to kill from the another political party. So this one, it is your turn. You kill they kill the other. They say 1-1, and our people are getting killed, and it's a political killing. So nobody should talk about it. And Ghana has continued to bleed until the cover up of those heinous crimes, the same evil forces behind the killing of Ghanaians, the cutting of John Ivan Fifi Atamil's life, ended up letting their evil cost Dr. Busuburu Kofi Annan's life. And because they eat evil as bread, they stepped up their evil to go to medically terrorize the entire human race after they have started killing our family members. And God set them up to go, make them go kill a Jew, so that the God of the Bible, Yahweh my God, will fight them on the behalf of the Jew, on the behalf of the Muslim, on the behalf of the Christian, on the behalf of the Rastafarian, on the behalf of the entire human race. Did we get that? Alright. Now, Ghana, that you know that, in order that you understand that we are talking about spiritual things, which political and diplomatic, religious structures have invented the scriptures to do to the human race, and we don't understand what is happening to us. Let's hear this. When it was time for John Evans Fifi Atamils to be taken out of in the year 2012, when it was time, God did not hide it from me. I had to, God made me take a step to the United Nations through writing to seek to intervene that President John Evans Fifi Atamils' life be preserved. Let's go to the office of the UN Secretary General. In the month of April 2012, I presented a document to them regarding this issue that I'm talking about, that shall cost the life of John Evans Fifi Atamils, and it ought to be stopped. I went to the extent of making a voice recording on a CD and added it to it and sent it to the United Nations. At the time, Ban Ki-moon was the Secretary General. Ghana, let's get it clear. But because Ban Ki-moon was more of a politician than a diplomat and was eyeing the throne of South Korea, they played politics with the issue because they were the same cliques that were pursuing the religious agenda to cut short the life of John Evans Fifi Atamils in the worship of this extremely dangerous US undercover agent. So Ghana, let me tell us what Barack Obama and the Secret Service of the White House can testify and confirm to you. When the Ban Ki-moon played politics with the issue and never did what was to be done, he came to Ghana, but then politicians are politicians. After my writing to him, he followed it to Ghana, but he played politics with that. When it was a matter of days for John Evans Fifi Atamils' life to be cut short, God took me to the White House, the house of Barack Obama, openly before the eyes of the world, and something happened. God told me that I should stand in front of Biden's house in the midst of huge gathering and terminate every work that God has said he would accomplish through His Excellency John Evans Fifi Atamils and Barack Obama. Listen, Barack Obama and John Evans Fifi Atamils, His Excellency, came into office at the same time, 2000, after the 2008 national elections, and they all became president in January of 2009. Obama became the president of Ghana, president of US. John Evans Piatta Mills, his successor, became the president of Ghana through what God did in a book called A Gift for Two Nations by this same African. At a time when America's finances and economy has been shattered, the crimes of this US undercover agent and the coward secret killers had led to the collapse, the crash of the New York Stock Exchange in September of 2009. And God needed to inject hope, inject hope that it shall be well with America, it shall be well with Ghana, it shall be well with humanity. He made me come out with words of inspiration, words of admonition, words of hope in that book on the behalf of Barack Obama and John Evans Piatta Mills. However, because Barack Obama sided with this extremely dangerous US undercover agent, I am an African, and therefore they believe that Africans are the seed of the Antichrist, so I must be destroyed. Barack Obama bonded with this undercover agent, and by their hate crime pursuit, they were going to cut short the life of John Evans Piatta Mills. When it was them, John Evans Piatta Mills' life was cut short on the 24th of July 2012. When it was just a little about a week, I went to the White House and God said, terminate what he said he would do through John Evans Piatta Mills and Barack Obama. Terminate it. It is no more good. You know why God did that? They, in the pursuit of their religious wickedness, have branded John Evans Piatta Mills the Antichrist. I'm not talking the Antichrist, and they were going to kill him, destroy him. And while they were holding the John Evans Piatta Mills secretly as the Antichrist and must kill him, because of the words of hope, words of admonition, words of inspiration that I poured into Barack Obama, John Evans Piatta Mills in the book of A Gift for Two Nations, they must hate me and claim that I have falsely prophesied. You understand? So I'm a false prophet. John Evans Piatta Mills is the Antichrist. I am a false prophet. So both the Antichrist and the false prophet, they must be destroyed. Who is Satan then? Don't forget that I've told us that they shall hold the same way that God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit shall be in operation. They are in operation. At the end time, we shall see Satan, the Antichrist, and the false prophet in operation. So by this religious insanity, madness of they inverting the scriptures, they purpose to kill John Evans Piatta Mills, and by their hatred in worship of this undercover agent, they must claim that I falsely prophesied to John Evans Piatta Mills and Barack Obama. So they must destroy John Evans Piatta and get me destroyed. America and the nations of the world, in order for God to take them in their own craftiness, God had to terminate before the eyes of the Americans, before the White House, the Secret Service, openly, that if they call it a prophecy that I prophesy, it no longer stands. Obama, you created this mess with Joe Biden and all your cronies, Ban Ki-moon. Take care of your own mess. God has washed his hands off it. When I did that at the White House, that concluded their decision to eliminate John Evans Piatta Mills immediately. Within a matter of 1 week, they were taken out. America, hear this. This same words of inspiration, words of hope, was what God made me to present to Joe Biden in that time when Joe Biden has, by the COVID and the global lockdown, has destroyed your finances, and they have destroyed the finance of Ghana, and God made me come out with a way that Joe Biden can redeem the US dollar and the economy, to present it to him. Because all they eat is religious hatred, Joe Biden rejected it one more time. And God's finger has continued to make Joe Biden know that he that rejects the counsel of God has damnation. And God has made Joe Biden see the fruit of the evil that he pursued with Barack Obama, Ban Ki-moon. You see the US dollar being ditched by many nations of the world, and the dollar is being wrecked. While my national currency is also destroyed by Ghana Addo Akufo. Ghana and the nations of the world. Akwaba to the program. Testimony. New World Disorder. If we are in doubt about the termination of what God intended to do through John Evans Fifi-Atanos and Barack Obama, which God terminated at the White House just a matter of days before they eliminated John Evans Fifi-Atanos, we can go check the Secret Service of the White House. Let's go investigate the CIA, the BNI, all of you. The national security, all of go investigate. Mossad, I know you can do a good work. KGB, all of us. Russia, let's go invest. Did that happen at the White? Did God take me there to terminate it? Yes. And Ghana, that day of termination, the recording was, I recorded it on a voice recorder. It exists. At the appointed time, there shall be a place that God shall provide in Ghana. All these years of unthinkable, overwhelming evidence regarding what has been done to humanity shall be available there. And that voice recording shall also be available for the whole world to come see. America and the nations of the world. According to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. That Ghana understand, America understand, that is the pursuit of religious hatred agenda that they took John Evans Fifi-Atanos out. Let's go to expose part 237 and let's hear what to do. Let's go.